Hello, good morning and welcome. It's Saturday, the 25th of March, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Right, we'll start as ever. Commitment of traders with the Australian dollar. More or less what we expected. They've actually gone short. They've re-put the short position in, and the Australian dollar has moved down. We've seen this across multiple pairs. The AUD USD, which we've done well with, the AUD New Zealand dollar, the AUD Japanese yen, and the pound AUD. We've had really good trades with all of those. And move on now to the British pound. And this had a rise. This is as bullish as they've been for a long time. Step back a little bit, but nothing to talk about. So we're still bullish. The pound, Canadian dollar, unbelievable. Look how that has gone into bullish mode. Bullish the Canadian dollar. I mean, I'm short the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, and I was worried about it, but this now is really positive news. That trade's going to come really heavily right. The euro, they are as bearish, the euro, more bearish than they have been for 12 months. The euros had this little bit of a climb back up here, 108, 108.50. I'm in about at the top and I'm short, so I think that's going to be a really good trade. No need for a tight stop, I think, on that one. So there we go. Japanese yen. Well, we're not actually as bullish as we were. So we're expecting maybe a little bit of a retracement on this. Let me just have a look. Yeah, I got knocked out of this. I've got a position in at the top here. I got knocked out, and we've had this lovely action that came down, and now we're just turning back up, I think, and we could just come up to the mid-Bollinger Band, maybe run a little bit over, and we can see on the trend line we're just starting to look like we're going to cross it. The stochastics at the bottom, and there's not really a lot of distance between the two lines there, so there isn't a lot of upward movement at the moment, but we'll see what happens next week with that. Back here we go. Swiss franc, flat, middle diddle. It's not really giving a clear signal either way. All I will say is beware the Swiss franc on safe haven flows. If there's any problems in the Eurozone, with the commitment of traders being so heavily bearish the euro, maybe they know something that's going to happen, and you might see for the euro, the safe haven flow is the Swiss franc. So just beware with the Swiss franc. Mexican peso, right? Unbelievable. This is as bearish as they've been for over 12 months. Nearly, in fact, even I think it's just crossed the zero line there. So my trade, the USD Mexican peso, is looking really good. You've got the peso here has climbed, and now they're looking for it to short. So I'm really interested in that. New Zealand dollar. Wow, how bullish! This is unbelievable. How many more bullish contracts have been added to this? So we've got our AUD New Zealand dollar trade, which is looking very positive from this. Unbelievable. Thank you very much, and we'll get on to energies. Crude oil, not a lot of change. They're not as bearish as they were by a little bit. It's still airing slightly on the bearish mark, but no strong signal there at all. Metals, my silver trade. Yes. Well, a bit of a step down. They're not as bearish as they were. And in fact, yeah, it's not a clear signal, but I would say that it is not as bearish as it was. So I'm going to be very careful with my silver trade. And now the S&P 500, not as bearish as it was. So they've taken some of that off. I don't know. One or two of my friends are looking for the S&P to long again, but from the chart I've got here, if we go onto a weekly, we have got a dip below the 69.1 on the weekly chart. So that is quite something, because we've had this upward movement here, because with the RSI it looks at the previous 14 points just to give it a bit of support, and this has actually turned down, you know, and that's quite a strong move to the downside, and it's below the 69.1. So stochastics pointing down. So we'll see what happens with that next week, but that is very interesting. And I think that's basically us done. Thank you very much for watching, and can I just say thank you to everybody who's liked the report and everybody who's subscribed. It helps the channel. The more likes and subscribes I can get, the better. But thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week. Happy trading.